It was an ordinary Tuesday, but it became the day everything changed. I had been looking forward to spending the evening with Emily, my wife of 5 years. We had been through so much together: college, career changes, and building a life. But that day, everything began to unravel. I was finishing up a major project at work and looking forward to a quiet night at home. Emily had left me a note saying she'd be out with friends and would be home late. I thought nothing of it. Emily had a close circle of friends she often went out with. That night, I planned to relax and catch up on some TV shows. As the hours ticked by, I found myself unable to focus. I felt a strange restlessness, an uneasy feeling that I couldn't shake. I tried to push it aside, telling myself I was just tired. But then my phone buzzed with a message from Tom, a good friend from college. "Hey, check out these pics from last night," he wrote. Tom had always been an avid photographer, capturing moments from his outings. I opened the attached files, expecting casual snapshots from a bar or a gathering. Instead, my heart sank when I saw Emily's face, her arm around a man I didn't recognize. They were laughing, too close for comfort, in a dimly lit bar. I stared at the photos, my mind racing. I felt a surge of anger and betrayal. I called Tom immediately. "Hey, Tom, are you sure about these pictures? That's Emily, right?" Tom's voice was hesitant. "Yeah, man, that's her. I didn't think much of it. I assumed you knew. They seemed pretty chummy. Do you know who that guy is?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Not really. Just a guy she was with. I thought you might recognize him." I ended the call, my mind spinning. The images haunted me as I lay awake that night. The next morning, I confronted Emily over breakfast, trying to maintain a calm demeanor. "Emily, I saw some photos last night. Who's the guy you were with?" Emily's face went pale. She fumbled with her coffee cup, clearly caught off guard. "What photos?" "The ones Tom sent me. You and this man seemed very close. I need to know what's going on." Her eyes widened in panic. "Danny, it's not what it looks like. We were just having fun. He's a coworker." "A coworker?" I pressed. "Why were you so close? It looks like more than just a friendly outing." Emily looked down, her voice trembling. "I didn't mean for it to get serious. I've been feeling neglected, and I didn't know how to fix it." "Neglected?" I shot back. "So you thought an affair was the answer?" Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry, Danny. I didn't know it would turn into this. I was just trying to find some happiness." I was furious but tried to stay composed. "I need some time to think." I spent the following weeks in turmoil. I was haunted by the images and Emily's betrayal. I considered ending the relationship but decided I needed to be methodical. I wanted to make sure my response was not just a spur-of-the-moment reaction but a carefully planned course of action. I began to scrutinize every aspect of Emily's behavior. I noticed she was spending more money than usual, expensive gifts, luxurious vacations, and dining out frequently. It became clear that her affair was not only emotional but financial. I decided to dig deeper. One day, Emily came home looking particularly flustered. "Danny, have you noticed anything strange with our accounts?" I acted surprised. "No, what do you mean?" "There's been a lot of unexplained charges," she said. "I'm worried something might be wrong." I feigned concern. "We should check our statements. Maybe there's been a mistake." We went through the statements together. I pointed out several high expenditures and suggested we investigate further. Emily seemed uneasy but didn't press the issue. I knew I had to keep her distracted while I put my plan into motion. I started by quietly moving our joint savings into a separate account under my name. I made sure the amounts were small enough to go unnoticed but substantial enough to affect our financial stability. I also began transferring some of our shared investments into assets that would be difficult for Emily to access. I wanted to ensure she would feel the sting of her actions. One evening, I decided to turn up the pressure. I planted a fake letter from a financial advisor, suggesting that our accounts were under review due to suspicious activity. I left it in a place where Emily would find it. The next day, Emily came home, looking distraught. "Danny, did you see this letter? It says our accounts are being investigated. What's going on?" I acted concerned. "I haven't seen it. It sounds serious. We need to look into it immediately." Emily's anxiety grew. She started avoiding places where she usually shopped and became increasingly cautious about her spending. Her affair began to show signs of strain as her lover grew wary of the mounting pressure. I could see the cracks forming in their relationship, and it only fueled my determination. As the months passed, I continued to gather evidence. I discovered more about Emily's affair, including intimate details and plans for future vacations. I found out that her lover had a significant other, creating a complex web of deceit. The private investigator revealed that Emily had been living a double life, funded by our shared resources. Finally, I felt ready to execute my plan. I arranged a dinner at home, making it seem like a romantic gesture. Emily was excited, believing it was an attempt to reconnect. I meticulously planned every detail to ensure it would be a memorable evening, just not for the reasons she anticipated. That evening, Emily arrived home with a hopeful smile. "Danny, this looks amazing. I'm so glad we're having this night together." I smiled back, trying to hide my true intentions. "I'm glad you like it. I thought it would be nice to have some time together." As we sat down for dinner, I engaged Emily in light conversation. "How was your day, Emily? Anything interesting?" "It was good," she said, beaming. "I've been thinking a lot about us and how we can fix things. I'm really excited about tonight." I took a deep breath and decided it was time to reveal everything. "Emily, there's something we need to talk about." Her smile faded. "What's wrong?" I began presenting the evidence I had collected. I showed her the photos of her with her lover, the financial records of her extravagant spending, and the detailed logs of her deceit. I could see her face turning from confusion to horror as the reality of her actions unfolded. "Danny, please," she begged, her voice trembling. "I didn't mean for any of this. I was just trying to cope." "You've been living a double life, Emily," I said coldly. "I've been waiting for the right moment to reveal it all." Emily's face was a mixture of guilt and desperation. "Danny, I'm so sorry. I was selfish. I didn't realize how much this would hurt you." As she pleaded, the doorbell rang. Emily's face turned even paler when she saw who it was, her lover, arriving unexpectedly. "Emily," he said, looking confused and concerned. "I got your message. What's going on?" I looked at them both with a mixture of satisfaction and resolve. "It's all coming out now. I've made sure of that." Her lover's eyes widened as he took in the situation. "Emily, what's happening?" Emily's voice was barely a whisper. "I didn't know how to tell you. Danny found out everything." At that moment, I dropped the final twist. I revealed the legal documents I had prepared for a separation. "I've arranged for a legal separation. The financial records have been adjusted, and you're left with nothing." Emily's pleas became more frantic. "Danny, please, don't do this. I can't start over like this." "Maybe if you had thought about the consequences before," I said, "you wouldn't be in this position." As the evening progressed, I watched the realization dawn on Emily and her lover. The weight of the situation was palpable. Emily was left to confront the fallout of her actions, and I was left with a sense of grim satisfaction. In the weeks that followed, Emily's life began to unravel. The financial strains I had imposed took their toll. She struggled to maintain her lifestyle and eventually faced significant difficulties. Her affair ended abruptly, leaving her in a state of despair. Despite my sense of justice, the victory felt hollow. I had exacted my revenge, but the emotional scars remained. The process of planning and executing my revenge had consumed me, and I was left to pick up the pieces of my own life. One day, Emily called me out of the blue. Her voice was broken. "Danny, I need to talk. Can we meet?" I agreed to meet her at a local coffee shop. She looked tired and worn. "I'm really sorry, Danny. I've hit rock bottom. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten until it was too late." I listened as she recounted her struggles. "I've lost everything, Danny. I never thought it would come to this. I see now how wrong I was." Her words were tinged with genuine remorse, but the scars of betrayal were still fresh. "Emily, I hope you find a way to rebuild your life. But remember, actions have consequences." The encounter was a sobering reminder of the cost of revenge. The story of my revenge became a part of my past, a reminder of the lengths I had gone to in dealing with betrayal. It was a harsh lesson in the cost of revenge and the importance of finding peace within oneself. As time passed, I focused on rebuilding my life. I sought therapy to deal with the emotional fallout and worked on moving forward. The lessons I learned about trust, betrayal, and the consequences of revenge stayed with me. The journey had been painful, but it taught me the value of healing and forgiveness. The story of my revenge was a chapter in my life that I had to come to terms with. It was a reminder of the complexities of human relationships and the consequences of our actions. It was a harsh, yet necessary lesson in understanding the true cost of betrayal and the importance of finding a path to personal peace.